Ego behaviors are really the main source of drama, and most people don't realize how often their ego comes out to play. In chapter 2 of my book, I introduced the concept of ego versus reality, that the ego is not your amigo, but reality truly is your best friend. And the thing about ego is that we all have one, and it's just part of our psyche, and it's the part of us that mediates our self-identity and our experience. It's really instrumental in governing how we adapt to reality and how we interpret reality. So having an ego isn't something to feel bad about. It's just part of our human condition. But it's really important that people recognize that the ego's main function is judgment. It's judging your experience. It's always narrating reality, and it really is not to be trusted, because the way that ego narrates reality is always with distortion. It's like wearing a pair of prescription glasses that aren't your prescription. So you're never really getting good information. You're just getting this narration of information. And we all know that we like to make decisions based on good data. And probably the biggest corruption of data in our lives is ego. It's important to recognize that one of the ego's main functions is to generate emotional waste. And it's a really unreliable narrator of your experience because it has this judging nature. And so it delights in the drama it can create. And Buddha called ego kind of the source of all suffering. So I think it's something that we need to pay a lot more attention to at work. We certainly believe so, because it's that main source of drama and emotional waste. One way that leaders fuel ego that they might not even realize is they tend to use sympathy rather than empathy, and some people don't even know the difference. And sympathy is when I see that you're struggling, and then I go on to be there for you, but agree with you, and then start colluding with you and leaving you with the mindset that you're at the mercy of your circumstances. Whereas empathy is, I see you're struggling and I'm there with you, but I don't feed into the victim mindset. I don't entertain the ego. In fact, I go beyond the ego. I bypass it, because empathy is, I see you're struggling, and then I call you to greatness. So an example would be, let's say that I've been asked to roll something out with my team that perhaps came from another department. If I'm a leader and I roll that out with sympathy, I'm gonna start with apologizing. I'm so sorry, and I know you're all busy and you're super overworked, and now marketing's coming along with whatever, and it just, I don't even agree with it, but we've got to do it. I checked, it's mandatory. And so we're almost apologizing from the beginning because we want people to know we relate. But what that actually does is it reinforces ego, and it leaves people thinking that buy-in's optional. So a leader actually loses the right to their own opinion, right? I'm kind of infecting others when I come in with this opinion that's not even possible, or we shouldn't have to. And empathy is rolling something out differently. It's everybody gather around, listen up. Our partners in marketing have asked us to collect a couple more pieces of data, and I want to get clear about what we need to collect, and I want to go around and talk about how we're going to make that happen with it being least disruptive to our customers. And so leaders feed the ego when we sympathize, because the ego is a distortion on reality, and it distorts reality in a way that paints ourselves as victims, and leaders innocently reinforce that viewpoint of the world over and over again in the name of helping. But this is a time that helping actually hurts.